Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Real Business Roundtable. We will never run out of ideas. I will keep this train going until I'm fucking dead!
If you want to stop me, you're gonna have to fucking kill me!
All right, today's non-sponsor.
Rich millionaire, eh?
Is that yours?
Once again, if you want a taste of the islands without having to deal with airports, luggage, tags, checking in, smelling people's farts, no need to go to the airport. Just get yourself a cool, crisp read. See, it's a taste of the islands packaged in a little nugget of a can that provides so much happiness.
Rich millionaire, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, you just spilled it.
Rich.
Yes, I did spill it, but we're going to keep that in because we keep it real. One other shout out to this character from, let's get emotional here. I want dramatic music.
Okay.
There's a character on a cartoon from the 90s
Oh my
that
God.
would never play on TV nowadays.
I need to get a shout out.
It's called Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy was an amazing cartoon that I used to love. I used to watch it with my sister. And I want to give a shout out to the Powdered Toast Man. Thank you, Janet Tizu. All right. Today's episode is called If You Acquire, You Must Aspire. That might be reminiscent of the Johnny Cochran famous phrase from the O.J. Simpson trial.
Drug it.
If the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
It doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
If you acquire a business, you must aspire. What does that mean for the love of fuck? It means that when you buy a business, don't just go in there assuming that everything's gonna work out great or you're gonna start cutting all these things, reinventing this, changing this dramatically where you are hurting the business. I am talking about this because I see this fuckery every single year, not daily, but a handful of times per year. We'll work with a client, we'll help them grow, and then you get some fucking knucklehead that comes in and buys the business. I always do the top button for the dorks. What? We don't need these services. And then the old owner goes, hey, listen, knucklehead, you need these services to drive the revenue that you saw on my books. On the books, the financials that you read with your two moist balls in your skull called eyes. Remember that? Those things that I pay for. Google ads, Instagram ads, SEO. That is what drove the eyeballs to the business that you just purchased. I've seen people opt out of using our program, and I literally, on a dashboard, am watching their traffic. Customers go. Insanity, absolute insanity. So why I wanted to create this episode is for those entrepreneurs out there that are thinking about buying a business. Remember, you're gonna have to get scrappy. You're gonna have to get scrappy. You're gonna have to get, there's this thing that they sell.
It's running out of paper.
There's this thing that they sell at the store. It's called a notebook, okay? The notebook, you just sit it down like this on a table and go, all right, Mr. Business Person, in your opinion, what drove sales for this business before I write a check or get a loan or refinance my house? Tell me what drives the business. I'm extremely passionate about this because I see insanity. So when you are thinking about buying a business, acquiring it, find out what drives the sales. What is the marketing process? What has been successful? What has not been successful? That is another important piece. If the business you are buying used a couple vendors in the past, it is, what's the word, who of you? Or be who of you?
Be who? What?
Is the word be who or who of you?
behoove you.
It would behoove you to find out, okay, what did you try that didn't work or maybe caused you some kind of loss that you should know about so you don't get approached by those same people again. Because if it didn't work for you, you need to know what didn't work. Most importantly, you need to understand where the sales are coming from. Even though you're a hot shit and you're acquiring a business and you might feel extra confident, it doesn't mean that you know the intricacies and the things that were happening behind the doors that made that business perform. So you need to, like I say, you need to peel back the onion, peel it back, get all the way to the core of that onion and look at everything before you make the decision to acquire. Now, if you buy a business at the low, let's say it's a business that's struggling, but you as an entrepreneur, you know that that business has a lot of potential. And if you infuse ad dollars, marketing dollars, creative, social, the whole nine, and you know that you can 3 to 5x that business in 18 months, more power to you.
I feel like that's the only reason why someone should be buying a business.
No,
though.
sometimes people buy businesses because they're gobbling up a lot of market share.
So yeah, but in that case, they already have a system that they want to replicate. They just want to expand into different areas.
My philosophy, I get it. My philosophy is you don't fix something that's not broken.
Yeah.
So if you acquire, you must aspire. Now, what does aspire mean? Definition. Aspire means looking to do better, setting a goal, a new level, right? So let's say that the company you buy is doing 5 million. Your goal should be at a manageable pace to get to 10 million. Whether that's done over 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, or 10 years. Make those improvements every single quarter, every single year. But enhance what's going on. Don't remove things that are working, regardless of your opinion of what may have worked for your flower business or whatever you were doing prior. I've seen people make mistakes like this countless times. And I feel that it's important for me to provide information and give back on these insanely ignorant, I hate to use the word, it's an ignorant mistake where someone just, I'm gonna do this, I've seen people buy businesses and completely changed the name and the offering. I'm not gonna name names because I respect the owner, okay? I'm not gonna shame anybody. But I've seen this where somebody comes in, they get the business going, they buy it. They stop the thing and they switch it and they change the name. So basically you just bought somebody's rental space. You went in, let's use hamburgers, for example. Not like a Five Guys, but like a well-known name. Mm-hmm. And let's say there's about 4 locations, they're kind of popular in New England. Guy buys it, suddenly changes it to fried chicken. Changes the name. Like that guy went in, made it fried chicken. So I'm thinking in my head, like, you bought a business that you didn't need to change anything. It was an established brand.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But now you flipped it on its head.
Because like there's different scenarios. Like sometimes someone will come in and buy a business and fix it because it's not performing that well, and maybe
But they gotta buy it at a low at that price. In that situation.
At a low. That's why I'm trying to like rack my head on like how to pitch in on this, because like there's so many different reasons to buy a business, but always buy a business unless it's a franchise.
Or you can
do better.
Some people buy them on the trajectory where they're like, oh God, they're going up, grab it now.
If the owner wants to sell it, yeah. But like, yeah, it's interesting.
I've had people come to me and they say, hey, I'm looking to sell in 5 years. I need to 10x my sales. Let's go, with the intention to sell. But my issue is when I interact with these very, very interesting characters, my mind is blown by the level of irresponsibility. And I give them a little bit of a break because someone who would do that, they don't know. And then when I educate on the importance of not doing those things, they're like, yeah, okay. And I'm sitting there like, I'm going to be looking at your analytics.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. It's a very, very serious thing. If you are to buy a business, in my opinion,
It's my opinion!
always try to do better. Go in, look at the P&L, look at the expenses, look at the cost of goods sold, look at these things. Maybe you could tighten the belt a little bit to make the business more profitable. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, because like I was thinking, like, because I think I think the more important thing to look at is when you're going in to buy a business, the people who know what they're doing look at different aspects of the business, the cash flow, the organization, just, everything about it, because some businesses can do decently well with like minimal organization, right? A shit POS system, if we're talking about food, there's not a ton of organization going on, but they have a good product. Now, someone can come in and buy that business and implement these systems and processes and everything to do the same thing, but to make it better. Maybe that person didn't believe in like a marketing aspect or a online, whatever, or like DoorDash or something like that, right? Very old school type of business, but a really good product. Now someone can come in, buy that business, implement all these new school things that, promote, organization and cutting costs, but being more efficient and proficiency and all these different things. That is a good reason to buy a business.
Yeah.
But if you're going in just to buy a business, just to have it, you're not going to change it. Like, oh, this business seems to be turning over, $500,000 in cash every year. Oh, great. You don't just go in to buying a business to, like, that's crazy.
Some people just run it into the ground and they treat it like an ATM for as long as they can. That is a disgrace in business.
It's just, it's stupid.
One quick public service announcement, as I just realized. Sometimes I get excited on the show, and I just screamed pretty loud, and my team is working in the other room. They're probably like, Andy's a fucking lunatic. What is he yelling about? I'm on the show. I'm expressing myself.
Everyone's like, oh my God, what happened?
No, they probably thought somebody was like arguing.
Yeah.
Anyways, it is about that time for Yakub Savouj to mumble.
What? Oh, thank you so much. Real Business Roundtable. Hope you enjoyed this. Also, please like and subscribe, turn on post notifications, so you're notified every time it goes. And it's crazy. This is the first time that Andy has closed it out.
Because we got to move today.
Peace out.